Hi and welcome to Time and Absence in Workday for Managers. In this video we're going to go over the basic things that you need to understand in order to approve and review your team members' timesheets, time tracking, time off, and even retro pay. When it comes to managing your team's time, you're going to spend most of your time in the Time and Absence application in Workday. Here you will default to several screens. The first, over here, My Team's Upcoming Time Off, is exactly that. It shows you the time that is scheduled for your team members. If you want to look at more of that, you can click on View More, and you'll see if there were more than just these 3 days off for Mr. Carney, they would be here. You can also click on the Settings button, and you can say, I want to download this information. You can even view more, and it'll try and get you all the available information. Again, in this one, we only have 3 people, so not much is showing up. The other window that you see here is My Team's Unmatched Punches. These will be populated if you have team members that have clocked in or clocked out without doing the either. So let's say they come and work a shift and then they clock out, but they failed to check in. Same thing goes if they checked in but then failed to check out. Those will be here, and you'll need to talk to your team member to find out the reason for the error. Again, you can view more if there were a bunch of them. It would give you a spreadsheet view. What this is showing you the various ways that you can look at information. One of Workday's strengths is its ability to find different ways to get to the same information, and you'll find the way that works best for you. Finally, we have the tasks and reports. Let's start off with reports. There is a default report available to all supervisors called Time Block Audit. Let's go ahead and click on that. For you as a supervisor or a manager, when you click on this window, and you will have to do that, only one of these will show up. Logan McNeil is one of our fictional supervisors in Workday, and so she shows multiples, but you will only see one and you'll need to choose it. Let's choose Logan McNeil here, and then we need to choose a date. Let's go back to the previous week. Now you can choose to filter it, trying to get to one particular team member, or you can just leave it blank and go for all of them. That'll result in a much beefier report. This gives you a nice overview of what you're looking at in relation to your team members. You see what their position is, the time block, how it was calculated. Various information is available to you, and you can see them all and you can scroll through them. If you want details, you can click on the time block and it'll give you the information. It'll say, for example, when they checked in, when they checked out. You look at the number of hours that they recorded. You can also look at calculated, which gives you an idea that it's calculated based on their regular rate of pay. Finally, you can look at the history and check to see who has been involved with this submission. You may find that one of your peers approved a timesheet for you in the past after you asked them to, but that information will be here. Anything you do in Workday is tracked in this way. You look at the information that you want and you can click close. Another element of reporting, and anytime you get a spreadsheet kind of Excel looking view like this, is over here you'll see this X that really means export to Excel. This is a filtering tool to filter the information that we have available to us. There's also a chart option, and then finally this one goes to a full screen so that you have more ability to look through a report that's really long. So that's a nice little feature to have. Let's see what happens when you click on expand chart. Okay, so it's trying to find ways to get you quick information. You may or may not find this useful, but it'll give you key details about the work that they did in a visual format. We'll go ahead and hit the W, go to our home page, click on Time and Absence again, and then let's go ahead and jump into Review Tasks. Under the tasks, let's take a look at review time. Here you can use the pay period you're looking at. The Review My Direct Reports Only is what you would normally default to. This will be the team members that report directly to you in Workday. However, this tool is helpful if you want to look at another peer of yours who has asked you to approve their timesheets. You can click this, and then maybe it's a particular person. But now all of a sudden, everyone that's in your chain of command that is lateral to you, so the same supervisor that reports to your manager, that supervisor, you'll be able to look at their team members' timesheets and make adjustments as needed in case one of your peers is not at work. Let's leave this checked. In this case, we want to look at all of our workers. If we didn't want to, we could say, who are the workers with hours to approve? That might be helpful if you don't need to see details about people that have already submitted and maybe you're done. And then finally, there's the workers with unsubmitted hours. You can click on that and find out if anyone hasn't completed their timesheets. Finally, you can also look at rate of pay. Click on here and you can choose hourly or salary. And it's another way to get granular, to look at the details, to splice apart the team and find more information in a more narrow way. So in this one, we've chosen our date. We want to do our direct reports only. We want all workers. We're going to go ahead and say OK. Now, as Logan McNeil, being the supervisor, here are the team members that report to her. Up here, you can choose previous pay period, and there were some hours. You can look at the next pay period. It's really easy to go back and forth. So in here, we can see that Aaron Hannon submitted 57.5 hours for approval. Let's say, for example, you review the hours to approve and you see that your entire team has the hours you expected them. If that's the case, you can choose the Select All box and go ahead and click Approve, and it'll approve all those team members. If, for example, you want to look at one of them, go ahead and do that by clicking on their name. Let's click on Aaron Hannon. All right, in this view, you're going to see two different things. One, you'll see the daily totals that Aaron worked through Monday through Sunday. To your right are your period totals. So it indicates that should have been a regular 40-hour week for Aaron, but she worked 56.5 hours. Therefore, 16.5 of that will be overtime. Total hours 56.5. There were shift differentials that should have applied, time off, double time, anything like that, those would be captured here. All right, so now we can look through her time. And up here you can choose only the entries to be approved or all entries. Go ahead and hit entries to approve. On Monday, it shows Aaron had the regular lunch and then had another regular lunch punch, but they didn't add any time. Therefore, the standard half-hour deduction took place. She then worked 8 hours of regular, and over here you can see what is it that she put in here. On the same day, hours worked regular, but 0 hours. This demonstrates that Aaron went in and changed her timesheet. It shows that this was entered, but within 0 hours, it will not impact her time. If you review all of these and you find that they are accurate, go ahead and hit approve. If, however, you don't find these to be accurate and you want to change them, well, there's two things you can do. One is you can click send it back to Aaron to correct it, and you can add a note. You can do that here by typing, please look at Sunday's time. We can hit cancel on that, and yes, discard the changes. But let's say something's wrong here. You can then do enter time for worker. You can see the time period. You can go backwards for time submitted or forwards. And in this work week, let's say on this prevailing wage, we look through that and say, you know what, they really worked 7 a.m. And so we're going to make that adjustment. We're also going to say that maybe it had a different job code. So we'll say receiving clerk. Go ahead and hit OK. Now, if you look at the screen, you'll see an interesting change has happened. Some of the time that Aaron has submitted has these stripes in it, these gray and white stripes. That means that the time is no longer submitted because you adjusted it as the supervisor. However, when you're done making these changes, you hit submit, and now that time will show up as a change for Aaron. Another way to look at time as a manager is to pay attention to your inbox. The inbox will contain any time a team member submits time, requests leave. You will be pinged in your inbox, and you'll see that here. In this case, it shows that Aaron entered 39 hours, or Ryan 52. So you have that information. So you can click on that and determine if there's anything amiss here, and go ahead and hit approve. You can do that right through your inbox versus going through the time and absence application. The choice is yours and how you want to do it. However, if you want to make changes, you'll need to go through the time and absence application. Finally, let's talk about RetroPay. In Workday, you can submit RetroPay at any time for any pay period that has taken place prior to your current one. For example, if you find an error in a timesheet that you submitted 2 months ago, the team member can go in and correct it. It'll then be submitted to you as the supervisor as RetroPay. When a RetroPay is submitted, you will see it here in your inbox, and you will also see it in your review time in the time and absence folder. Be sure to keep your eyes out for those. They're not that common, but now they are very easy to do versus the old days where everything was paper-based. This is a convenience for errors to be corrected, but also for a supervisor to be vigilant so they understand the times that they are approving. Thank you for watching. Hope this time was helpful for you.